Hey gang, welcome once again to Cheap Comic Collector. Thanks for being here. Today we are going through comics from 1961 from my personal collection. So sit back, pretend you're took a time travel trip back in 1961. You're in the drugstore, spinning that rack and seeing what's on it.
It's Comic Book Friday, we got the stash. Oh yeah! Pages yellow, but we're making cash. Keep heroes flying, making moves so fast. Woo! In this funky time warp, it's a blast. Comic shops buzzing like bees in a hive. Vintage tales bringing them alive. Yeah. Collector's paradise where dreams reside. Flip through the pages, taking that ride. Comic Book Friday, swinging to the beat. Getting those deals ain't it neat? Heroes and villains all meet and greet. Woo! Dancing in the aisles, moving our feet. Found a gem from 42, Captain Bold, tales untold, worth their weight in gold. Mad scientist with a plan so cold. Now it's moved to cherish and hold. Super fans unite with the shout. Yeah, cheap comics, there's no doubt. Woo! Every hero story we tell. In this funky mission, no one leaves out. Comic Book Friday, swinging to the beat. Getting those deals, ain't it neat? Heroes and villains all meet and greet. Woo! Dancing in the aisles, moving our feet.
All right. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. I really appreciate it. When I started doing YouTube videos a couple years ago, the intention was never to sell comics. It was just to collect them. And then it got to the point where I needed to sell comics so I could collect them. And now it's gotten to the point where I just need to sell comics because I'm stuck at home all the time because of I have to take care of my mother. So I really appreciate you guys and the support that you've given me. Means a lot. And this is it going through all these comics, especially these older ones that I've found along the way. The point was to originally, as stated, was to create a collection for under $1 comic. I definitely did that. It's a huge collection, got all kinds of stuff. But you guys are the ones that make that possible. So thank you. And every comic that I look at while I'm doing this reminds me of that. How lucky I am to have fallen into this situation and gotten to meet all of you. So thank you very much. We're going to switch over to the other camera and get her going. Alrighty, here we go. From 1961, we have Adventure Comics number 285. And this will be my earliest copy of Adventure Comics. As you can see, it's all beat up. I did laminate the cover because it was in such bad condition it would have just continued to deteriorate, and I wanted to preserve it. So we are going to, and in case you're joining us and you haven't seen the previous episodes of this particular series, I am doing this to create a list of what I have because my old list is just plain wrong from buying and selling and changing my mind a lot of which ones I was going to keep and which ones I wasn't going to keep. My list is no longer accurate. And so I do need to update it. Well, not really update it. Basically, I need to create a whole entire new list. So that's what we're doing. And I store my comics in order by year. And so we are gives me also the opportunity to do these videos and look at the comics in order chronologically, which is a lot of people find very interesting, including myself, which is why I store them like that. Anyway, Adventure Comics was, of course, published by DC. Before that, I think it was New Comics and then New Adventure Comics. It became Adventure Comics, was number 32. Went to number 503 in its original run, and that was published 1938 to 1983. So I've got a lot of issues if I want to complete a set of these. 285 is my earliest one. Bizarro's playing baseball. It's another baseball cover. Baseball, hot dogs, and fishing covers were very popular back in the 50s and 60s. And here is 288, which is another Bizarro. Well, that cover's definitely seen better days. But again, I'm pretty sure I laminated that one, as bad as it is, unless it was still connected. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, there's some stiffness there. I definitely laminated that one as well. And we got a Charlton Atomic Mouse, number 45. I don't know what it is with the 1961 comics, but I had to laminate this one too. So. And Atomic Mouse by Charlton. Let's see what the info is on that one. So as I go through these, if the series isn't already in my list, I look it up on Grand Comics database, or if that's not working, I will resort to the Overstreet price guide that I have sitting here. And there were quite a few different Atomic Mouse series, but the one we're looking for is started in 1953, it looks like. 1953 to 1963. And started with a number 1, went to issue number 52. And this is 45. Pardon me. Got a bit of a cold today again. Batman Annual, number 1. But this is a facsimile. I love facsimiles because it definitely gives me the chance to get stuff I probably wouldn't have otherwise. Let's see what the info is on the first run of Batman Annuals. Started in 1961, which we knew because this is the first one. 1961 to 2011. And it had 28 issues. And I put when I listed in the on my list, I put 1F, so I know it's a facsimile. This one, however, is not a facsimile, but I did, I think, make my own cover for it. Oh, nope, I just laminated it. Or did I think I I think I made a cover and then I laminated the cover. It does still have the I think that's what I did because it was missing the cover. And before I realized I could print on glossy paper, I did this, which still gave me a nice thick cover. So this is actually number 2, but this is the real thing, except for the covers. Wait a minute. If this is number 2, what's it doing in 1961? It says number 2, 1961. Okay, apparently they had 2 issues in 1961. Let me check back on Grand Comics Database again. See what it says there. Summer 1961, winter 1961. Yep. And they did the same thing next year, 1962, 1963, 1964. They only had one in 1964, but the first 3 years they actually had 2 annuals each year. Makes you wonder why they called it an annual. All right. Oh, I don't have a sticker on that one, so we gotta trying to keep them all marked. At some point, I got lazy with the stickers, and I stopped. Stopped writing them down. But because I thought I had enough, but as you get more and more comics, then it becomes where eventually it becomes that there are more without tags than there are with tags. So it's a good idea to try and keep them consistent. And I didn't have one on Blondie either. So we're gonna go 147 and assume that I have the year right. The dog is hilarious. Blondie. And we don't have the Blondie title in here either. Boy, yesterday's episode we didn't have to hardly look up anything, and today we're having to look up almost everything, seems like. So let's take a look at Blondie. It's probably going to be Chick Young's Blondie, but that would get very confusing for me. So we're going to try and keep it listed as just Blondie. And this is Harvey Comics. So there's a Blondie Harvey. It was originally called Blondie Comics Monthly, or at least before this, it was called Blondie Comics Monthly and still being published by Harvey. And then it became just Blondie with issue 142 in 1960. And it ran till 1965. And so they published issues number 142 to 163. This is 147. And after that, it was picked up or continued to be published with the same numbering by King Features, who didn't really publish very long, just for a few years did they publish their own comics. They went from 1966 to 1967 with this one, so only a couple years maybe. And they published 164 to 175. After that, it went to Charlton. And they published from 1969 to 1976. And they published numbers 177 to 222 was the last issue. And it says there was no number 176 published. Oh, got some more Dell Giants. Love these. Bugs Bunny Beach Party. Yeah. Nothing like pigs roasting on the beach. This is number 46. And I like to take a look at the back covers on these because usually there's some kind of activity. This one's a find the mistakes puzzle. Sometimes there's like a craft project where you cut them out and make something. And here is another issue of Huey, Dewey, and Louie Back to School. I think these are the easiest ones to find because I have quite a few of the Back to School ones. Despite being a duck comic, they seem to be relatively easy to find and also relatively cheap to pick up compared to the compared to the other ones. And number 52, Uncle Donald and his nephew's Dude Ranch. This one just got a Schwinn ad on the back, and this one has one of those things where you got to figure out what they're saying by pictures. Fun stuff. And here's number 53, Donald Duck, Merry Christmas. Great cover. And ad on the back of this one. I pulled it out because there's a couple pages sticking out here that must be loose. I want to make sure they get tucked in as much as they can be. Swag has occasionally asked me, how much would I pay for a comic? Usually it's not over $5. The Dell Giants are an exception to that rule for me. I would, it would all depend on condition and so on and so forth, but Dell Giants, I would definitely pay more for if I needed to under the right circumstances. This is number 55. That is the last issue of Dell Giant. Say it with me. Aww. But there's lots more out there that I don't have yet, so. This is an unusual puzzle. You have to match the character up with whatever it is they're doing, I guess. You can pause it there and do the puzzle if you want. And then we have a regular issue of Donald Duck, number 78. And number 80. And this one I have had for quite a while, which probably means I've never tried getting any of this off. So let me try that. See if I get lucky. Sadly, no. Whatever they used on that is not coming off. Neither the black or the red. And we have a facsimile, The Flash. And of course, there was a Flash Comics earlier in the 1940s, but I believe, I want to say this Flash started with number 1, but I might be wrong about that. Let's find out. I am wrong. It did get continued the numbering from Flash Comics. Okay. Oh, it wasn't. Had my facts wrong. 1959 to 1985, this series went. So that means there was a 10-year gap, because Flash Comics ended in 1949. This one started in 1959. And so they started with issue 105 and went to number 350. Yeah. And 123F. And still have a 4-color. This is 1179 is the issue number. And Swamp Fox is another one of those great Disney Westerns that if you've never seen it, you really need to check out. Unfortunately, Disney does not make that easy because they are ashamed of their past. But this was a fun series. Takes place during the Revolutionary years when the Swamp Fox led a band of rebels, I guess, against the Redcoats. And this one is out of order, right? 1179, 1171. Yeah. Elmer Fudd. Another one of those 4-color characters that had a series, but basically I don't believe ever graduated to his own series. I might be wrong about that. I know there was a Yosemite Sam series. I don't remember there being an Elmer Fudd. Maybe there was. There probably was, and I just thinking wrong. My mind is mush as I get older. 1187, Three Stooges, great cover. And here is number 1233, a movie classic. Tammy, Tell Me True. And Hot Stuff, number 39. My earliest Hot Stuff right there, I think. Yep. Looking for some hot stuff. And oh, that can't be right. There's like 12 issues in that one. Where is it? Hot Stuff, The Little Devil. Okay. They got picky on the name. All right. Hot Stuff started publishing in 1957 with issue number 1. And ended with 177 in 1991. But there were gaps along the way where it wasn't being published. And here's another Charlton, Marine War Heroes. Uh, 1964 to 1967, this one ran. And actually started with a number 1. It had 18 issues. And then it says the numbering continued with Charlton Premiere. Charlton is famous for changing the numbering and using it on an entirely different title that had nothing to do with the previous run. Mickey Mouse, number 78. And special giant issue. This was, I forget what this is. Secret Origins Replica Edition. So it's basically a facsimile, I believe. It's got ads and things in it. So yeah, it's a facsimile, but they added this flap to explain themselves, which I think is cool. I kind of wish they would actually do that with the new ones. That'd be a nice little add-on to add some story behind the, this historical significance or whatever. So So since I have this in 1961, I guess I am counting it as a facsimile, just not a modern day one. This one was published in the 80s, I think. And of course, Secret Origins has been used several times for titles, but I believe this was the first time they used it. Yep, 1961 one shot. And we're going to mark it as 1F, but we also going to mark it as complete. All right, let's start a new stack here, just in case we're getting too big for you guys to see them. Tales of the Unexpected, number 68. Another one where I had to laminate the cover, but what a cool robot cover. All right, so got to look this one up too. Apparently, now that we're into the 1960s books, I'll have to be looking up quite a few titles because the 60s was a growth period for comics with all the superhero titles and stuff. So there are going to be quite a few titles I'll have to look up originally as we add them to the list. And here we go. Tales of the Unexpected. It became The Unexpected in 1968. But this series ran from 1956 to 1967. And went for 104 issues. This is 68. And we got a Del Tarzan, number 122. And here's good old Uncle Scrooge, number 33. Walt Disney's Comics and Stories, 246. And number 251. And that ends the stack from 1961, but I do have these that we need to add into the pile from the first couple episodes we did. If you don't understand that, then you can go back and watch the series and understand what's going on. Gonna slide Secret Hearts into there. Mickey Mouse, Marine War Heroes, Hot Stuff, 4 colors. Oh, put on the brakes. Put Girls Romances in there. And then here's another 4 color. This one's cool. Also a movie classic, 1234. And then got some Archies, so we got to get back to the A's. Flash, Donald Duck, Tell Giant, Merry Christmas, Dude Ranch, Back to School, Beach Party, Blondie, Batman Annuals, Atomic Mouse, and we got Archie's Pal Jughead Facsimile. Very cool cover with the monsters. Now that just came out. And Archie, the original 117. But that is a cover I printed out and then stapled to a coverless comic. So if you think all your comics have to be mint, this might not be the channel for you, but I do enjoy saving the comics. And some adventure comics. So that's my stack for 1961. Please join me next time and we'll do 1962 together. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon.
Flicking through the paper dimes, finding heroes in hard times. Superman and Cape Crusades are the dreams that comics made. Brightly colored pages bring legends that make young hearts sing. Rocket ships and alien planes, all in frames that broke their chains. All in color for a dime, adventures caught in every line. The first comic book so grand, wish I had one in my hand.